I'm Tyler, and I'm here to let you know that The Conjuring 2 is no perfect movie. So in The Conjuring 2, Ed and Lorraine Warren, played by Patrick Wilson and Vera Farmiga, travel to London, England in order to help a young girl named Janet, played by Madison Wolff. That's Wolff with an E, don't get any smart ideas. Who is being haunted by a demonic spirit that possesses her and terrorizes her family. And as a fan of the very first Conjuring, let me tell you, I think this sequel is so much better than the first movie, and The Conjuring 2 may in fact be one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I loved Conjuring 2 from start to finish. James Wan as a director is one of the few horror directors working today who know exactly how to build suspense. And he does this with very slow-burning editing that keeps the audience waiting in anticipation, never goes on for too long. And thanks to Don Burgess' incredibly gorgeous yet very creepy cinematography. And the cool thing is Burgess knows that there are so many things you can do with a camera in order to make the audience feel uneasy. So he uses every angle he can, like a Dutch angle, or shooting someone from a low or high angle, or using long tracking shots that make the audience feel as if something is about to jump out in front of them. And my favorite shot in the entire movie features a close-up of Janet hiding under her bedsheet with a flashlight, and it cuts to a POV shot of the ghost that is following her, slowly walking up to her. You never see the ghost, and it cuts back and forth from the close-up of Janet to the wide of the POV shot. And that sequence had me gripping my fists throughout the entire thing, and there are so many other sequences just like that in the movie, all thanks to the cinematography and the editing, which are all timed perfectly in order to get a scare. And the production design and the special effects in this movie, for the most part, are entirely practical. They're always shooting on location or on sets. Whenever there are chairs or silverware being thrown at the characters, they're real props being thrown at the actors. Whenever a character is shoved around the room or flies around the room, they're actually on wires. And the spirits in this movie are portrayed mostly through actors wearing very convincing and genuine prosthetics and makeup as opposed to a CGI creature. And on a side note, I have to give major credit to Bob Adrian and Robin Atkin Downes for their incredible jobs in voicing the spirits. You guys were very creepy, very effective. You two were awesome. Well done. Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson once again give very natural and very riveting performances throughout the entire movie. They have genuine chemistry as a couple. Their reactions to the paranormal activities happening around them really elevates the story for me. And they're actually given a very interesting arc that revolves around how Farmiga's psychic visions affect her faith. These visions of people who are close to her being killed or caught in the crossfire, and she wonders whether they should keep getting involved in dangerous cases, or as Wilson points out, maybe these visions are signs that we need to act and we need to prevent certain things from happening as opposed to they're going to happen anyways. And it's a really interesting arc that I feel makes these two characters as paranormal investigators and as genuine people feel all the more real. But my favorite performance in this movie by far is Madison Wolff as the girl who's being haunted. It is incredibly hard to get a good child performance in a horror movie nowadays because it is a very demanding role in a genre like this. But Wolff, in my opinion, was invested in her performance from start to finish. She's really good at displaying the fear and insecurities that a child would feel making a paranormal claim and having next to no one believe you. And these feelings, I admit, they look genuine as if they could actually happen in real life. I don't think the events in this movie are actually real historical events, but this movie does a very good job at portraying these moments as being realistic, and Wolff gives a very natural performance in these scenes. And when she becomes visited by the spirit, her facial expressions and how well she matches her lip movements with Bob Adrian's voice, it actually had me shaking whenever it happened. And it was so creepy and it was so cool and I loved her performance throughout. My only real issue with this movie is that during the third act there's an event that happens that causes the Warrens to leave Janet and her family only for the Warrens to realize, oh wait, there's actually something, and then they come back to help Janet at the last minute. And I don't know if this moment was just added in because of the whole true story crap, but as a work of fiction, it just felt like a forced way to raise the stakes in the story, and it just felt really pointless. It is true that The Conjuring 2 isn't exactly a reinvention of anything, and if any director other than James Wan were in charge of this movie, I don't think it would have been as good. But because Wan is so good at building tension, directing very talented actors to look as frightened as possible, and making a simple and really honestly cliched story make it so intense and so fun throughout the entire runtime, I'm going to give The Conjuring 2 4.5 out of 5. Guys, thanks as always for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe down below. Be sure to check out my other reviews at NoPerfectMovie.com. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care.